What's up, everybody? Today we're counting down the 7 most unbelievable Darwin Award winners ever. These are real stories of people making the worst decisions imaginable and removing themselves from the gene pool in the wildest ways. From rocket-powered cars to grenade selfies, you won't believe what you're about to hear. Each story is a masterclass in what not to do. Trust me, the last one will absolutely blow your mind, so stick around. Let's get into it. Here we go. Number 7 is the legend of the JATO rocket car. A story so outrageous, it's hard to believe anyone would even attempt it, but sometimes, truth really is stranger than fiction. JATO rockets, or jet-assisted takeoff rockets, are designed to help massive military planes get off the ground in a hurry. These rockets pack a punch, delivering thousands of pounds of thrust in just seconds. They're meant for aircraft, not for anything with 4 wheels and a steering wheel. But in the late 1960s, a former Air Force sergeant, whose name has been lost to legend, decided to ignore all common sense. He got his hands on a surplus JATO rocket and a 1967 Chevy Impala, a car already known for its power and style. But apparently, that wasn't enough for him. His goal: to do something no one had ever done before. Break the sound barrier on land, right in the heart of the Arizona desert. He wanted to make history, to feel the kind of speed only fighter pilots ever experience. After days of preparation, he mounted the rocket to the car's frame, double-checked his calculations, or maybe just crossed his fingers, and climbed behind the wheel. With a deep breath, he turned the key, ignited the rocket, and braced himself for the ride of his life. The result was instant chaos. The Impala didn't just accelerate, it exploded forward, instantly vaporizing its rear tires in a cloud of smoke and rubber. The car became a blur, a streak of metal and fire tearing across the desert floor at unimaginable speed. In just a few heartbeats, he covered more than 2 miles, the car completely out of control. The steering was useless at that speed, and the desert landscape became a dizzying smear outside the windows. He was no longer driving, he was just along for the ride. Desperate to slow down, he slammed on the brakes, but the intense speed and friction were too much. The brake pads and discs overheated and melted almost instantly, leaving him with no way to stop. With no brakes and no control, the Impala hit a rise in the desert and launched into the air, flying off a cliff and slamming into solid rock, 125 feet up. The impact was so violent it left a crater in the cliffside, a permanent scar on the Arizona landscape. When the dust settled, there was almost nothing left of the car. Twisted metal, scorched earth, and scattered debris were all that remained. The driver's fate was sealed in an instant. He paid the ultimate price for his wild experiment. When the Arizona Highway Patrol arrived, they were completely baffled. They'd never seen a crash like this before. It wasn't until they found the charred remains of the JATO rocket that the pieces of the puzzle started to come together. The evidence was clear. This wasn't just a car crash. It was a full-blown rocket disaster. The Impala had been transformed into a makeshift missile, and the experiment had ended in tragedy. So, if you ever find yourself daydreaming about strapping a rocket to your car, maybe take a moment to reconsider. Some ideas are better left in the realm of imagination, not reality. That's one way to leave a mark, literally and figuratively. The legend of the JATO rocket car is a wild reminder of what can happen when curiosity and recklessness collide at full speed. Number 6 is just as wild, so buckle up, because the next story is going to blow your mind. Number 6 is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous things in life aren't wild animals or extreme sports, they're the everyday objects we barely give a second thought. Even something as ordinary as a vending machine can turn deadly in the blink of an eye. We pass by them in schools, offices, and hospitals, never imagining they could pose a real threat. But for one unlucky college student, a simple snack craving turned into a fatal mistake. After his bag of chips got stuck, frustration took over. Instead of shrugging it off, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He began rocking the massive 800-pound vending machine back and forth, determined to free his trapped snack. Each shove was a gamble, ignoring the warning labels plastered on the front. With one final desperate push, the machine tipped forward, crashing down on top of him. The weight was instant and unforgiving. He was crushed before anyone could react. All of this, just for a bag of chips or a can of soda. It's a sobering thought, how quickly a moment of impatience can turn into tragedy. And believe it or not, this isn't some bizarre one-in-a-million accident. Vending machine-related deaths and injuries happen more often than you'd expect. News headlines have warned about it for years, but most people still don't take the risk seriously. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention even conducted a study on these accidents, highlighting just how dangerous these machines can be when misused. So next time a vending machine eats your dollar, or your snack gets stuck, remember this story, take a deep breath, and just walk away. Your life is worth far more than a bag of chips. No snack is worth risking your safety. Heed the warning signs, and don't let frustration cloud your judgment. Don't become another statistic in the strange and tragic battle between man and machine. Sometimes the smartest move is to simply walk away. Now let's move on to number 5. This next story takes us to new heights, literally. Ready for a sky-high adventure? Let's go. Number 5 is the legend of Lawn Chair Larry, a story so wild it sounds like something out of a cartoon, but it's 100% true. This is the tale of a man who refused to let gravity, or common sense, keep his feet on the ground. Larry Walters was an ordinary truck driver from Los Angeles, with an extraordinary dream. He wanted to fly. But Larry didn't have a pilot's license, or even a plane. Instead, he came up with a plan that was as simple as it was outrageous. He tied 45 massive weather balloons to a basic aluminum lawn chair he bought from a local store. Preparing for his flight, Larry packed a parachute, just in case things went wrong, a pellet gun to pop the balloons when it was time to come down, a CB radio to keep in touch with friends on the ground, and, of course, some sandwiches and a few beers for the journey. He was nothing if not practical. The plan was simple: float up a few hundred feet, enjoy a peaceful view of the neighborhood, and then, gently, drift back down to earth. Larry imagined a calm, scenic ride, maybe even a little boring. But reality had other ideas. As soon as his friends cut the tether, Larry shot up like a rocket, soaring at over 1,000 feet per minute. Within minutes, he was nearly 3 miles above Los Angeles, reaching a staggering 16,000 feet. He was so high, he drifted right into the busy airspace of LAX, one of the world's busiest airports. Commercial airline pilots couldn't believe their eyes. Imagine looking out your cockpit window and seeing a man in a lawn chair, waving as he floats by. Several pilots radioed the control tower, reporting the bizarre sight of an unidentified, flying lawn chair. Up at that altitude, the air was freezing and thin. Larry, shivering and terrified, realized he had to get down, fast. He started popping the balloons with his pellet gun, one by one, trying to control his descent. Each pop sent him lurching downward, but he managed to keep his cool. But as he neared the ground, things got even more dangerous. His lawn chair drifted into a tangle of power lines, causing a blackout in a Long Beach neighborhood. Sparks flew, but somehow, Larry survived the landing, shaken, but alive. Reporters swarmed him, eager to know why he'd risked his life for such a stunt. Larry's answer became legendary: "A man can't just sit around." It was the perfect punchline to an unbelievable adventure. Overnight, Larry Walters became a folk hero. People celebrated his daring, his creativity, and his refusal to let go of his childhood dream. He inspired countless others to chase their own wild ideas, no matter how ridiculous they might seem. Larry's flight is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary journeys begin with the simplest dreams. He literally took his ambitions to new heights, proving that with enough determination and a few dozen weather balloons, you can rise above the ordinary. Just remember, not every dream comes with a safety net. Let's get to number 4. This one's a modern tragedy. Here we go. Number 4 is about the deadly quest for the perfect selfie. A tourist ignored warning signs and climbed over a safety barrier on a cliff for a dramatic photo. Focused on her phone, she took one step back, right off the edge. She fell hundreds of feet to her death, all for a picture. This isn't rare. Hundreds have died taking selfies in dangerous places. No photo is worth your life. Stay behind the barrier. Your memories matter more than your Instagram feed. Let's move to number 3. This one is explosive, literally. Number 3 takes dangerous selfies to a whole new level. Two men in Russia found a live hand grenade and decided to take a selfie with it. Not content with just holding it, they pulled the pin. They posed for the camera, pin out, safety lever held down. They got their photo, but at some point, the lever was released. The grenade exploded, killing them instantly. Police later found the phone with the final, chilling selfie. They didn't just win a Darwin Award, they documented their own entry. Some ideas are so bad, they're almost artistic in their stupidity. On to number 2. This one is a real-life dark comedy. Number 2 is the story of a burglar who tried to break into a house, through the chimney. He climbed onto the roof, lowered himself in, and quickly got stuck. Chimneys aren't made for people, and he was wedged tight, trapped in darkness, unable to move. He was stuck for days. The homeowner, unaware, eventually noticed a smell and lit a fire to burn out what he thought was a dead animal. Firefighters discovered the body after dismantling the chimney. The man died from asphyxiation and dehydration long before the fire. A grim end to a horribly planned crime. If you ever think about playing Santa, use the door. Now for the wildest story of all. Number 1 is the peak of reckless stupidity. At a party, a man bragged about his special connection with snakes. To prove it, he caught a cottonmouth, a highly venomous snake, and decided to kiss it. He ignored every warning sign from the angry snake. He leaned in, puckered up, and the snake bit him on the face, injecting a full dose of venom. His friends rushed him to the hospital, but the venom was too powerful. He died shortly after arriving. He literally kissed a deadly snake, and paid the ultimate price. That's why he tops our list of unbelievable Darwin Award winners. And that's our list. 7 mind-blowingly absurd ways people took themselves out of the running. Let these stories be cautionary tales. Please don't try any of this at home. Don't fight vending machines, don't fly in lawn chairs, and definitely don't kiss venomous snakes. What's the craziest story you've ever heard? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching. If your mind was blown, smash that like button. Subscribe for more, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next wild video. We're always trying to top the last one. See you in the next video. Stay safe out there.